important whether anyone loved me or not. More important now that was for me to love them, feeling that way turns your whole life around. Living becomes the act of giving. Life isn't about finding yourself, life is about creating yourself. A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. He who does nothing need hope for nothing. Far better is it to dare mighty things, to include his strength, even though checked by failure, than to rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much because they live in a greater light that knows no victory nor defeat. A coward gets scared and quits. The hero gets scared but still goes on to the dilemma. To laugh is to risk appearing a fool. To weep is to risk appearing sentimental. To reach out for another is a risk of involvement. To expose feeling is to risk rejection. To place your dreams before a crowd is to risk ridicule. To love is to risk not being loved in return. To go forward in the face of overwhelming odds is to risk failure. But risk must be taken because the great is his art. In life is to risk nothing. The person who does nothing, has nothing, is nothing. He may avoid suffering and sorrows, but he cannot learn, feel, change, grow, or love. Changed by his certitudes, he is a slave. He has forfeited his freedom. Only a person who takes risk is free. Spiritual awareness. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it's not proud, it's not rude, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. And now these three remain: faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of them is love. Nothing grows brighter than the heart awakened to the light of love that lives within it. When you were born, you were crying and everyone around you was smiling. Live your life so that when you die, you are the one smiling and everyone around you are crying. Just beyond the thinking mind is an unending field of love and quiet beauty. One can lie down there and live in eternity. This field cannot be seen in the mind and cannot be known by the mind. It can only be felt and found with the heart. There will come a time when you believe everything is finished and there will be the beginning. Life is really simple, but then men insist on making it complicated. Only through love can we obtain common communion with God. The soul would have no rainbow if the eyes had no tears. Help me never to judge another until I have walked a mile in his moccasins. In a place of stillness rises potential. From the place of potential emerges possibility. Where there's possibility, there's choice, and where there's choice, there's freedom. All major religions, traditions carry basically the same message, that is love, compassion, and forgiveness. The important thing is they should be part of our daily lives. You yourself, as much anybody in the entire universe, deserves your love and affection. Growing into the world above us, realizing the higher realms of consciousness within us requires that we outgrow the world beneath us. Blessed are those who can give without remembering and take without forgetting. This above all, to your own self be true. Meaning of Namaste. I honor the place in you in which you alter, in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of truth, and of light and of peace. When you are in that place in you, I am in that place in me. We are one. Namaste. My soul honors your soul. I honor the place in where the entire universe resides. I honor the light, love, truth, beauty, peace within you, because it is also within me. In sharing these things, we are entitled. United, we are the same, we are one. To love yourself right now, just as you are, is to give yourself heaven. Don't wait until you die. If you wait, you die now. If you love now. Live now. Man is lost and is wandering in the jungle where real values have no meaning. Real values can have meaning to man only when he steps on the spiritual path, the path where negative emotions have no use. The most common ego identifications have to do with possessions, the work you do, social status and recognition, knowledge, education, physical appearance, special abilities, relationships, personal and family history, belief systems, and often political, nationalistic, racial, religious, and other collective identifications. None of these is you. Al-Katoli. Be noble, for you are made of stars. God is a mind that imagines physical reality. We are each like a cell in that mind. It's never too late to change the programming imprinted in childhood, carried in our teens, and derived from previous lives. The solution is mindfulness in the present moment. Talk to yourself in two languages. What do I need and what do I love, in order to balance the body and the soul? Survival is for the human animal. Fear, the motivation for the spiritual being. Survival is irrelevant. Curiosity, compassion, creativity are the name of the game. Unconditional love, the motivation. You begin by serving your own needs. You journey by serving the needs of others. You end by serving the needs of the whole. That's when the journey is complete. When you do things for your soul, you free a river moving you, and you are joy. The most common form of despair is not being who you are. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. As human beings, our greatest lies not so much in being able to remake the world that is a myth of the atomic age as in being able to remake ourselves. Be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's only ground. There is no greater investment. Good experiences life through each of us, and we experience life thanks to God. We seek gratitude and courteous. We speak gratitude is courteous and pleasant, but to live gratitude is to touch heaven. Just listen to the still voice within. This is the mind to trust. This is the God consciousness speaking, that not the ego that is seeking recognition. The first step toward change is acceptance. Once you accept yourself, you open the door to change. It's not the answer that enlightens, but the question. Choose being kind over being right, and you'll be right every time. There's no 7 wonders of the world in the eyes of a child. There are 7 million. Inside the cursed vein, and to the degree that one knows oneself. Each today well lived makes yesterday a dream of happiness, and each tomorrow a vision of hope. Look therefore to this day, for it is, and it alone is life. Knowing others is wisdom, knowing oneself is enlightenment. You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Our prayers answer not when we are given what we ask, but when we are challenged by what we can be. What is necessary to change a person is to change his awareness of himself. The period of greatest gain is knowledge, and experience is the most difficult period in one's life. How do we nurture the soul? By revering our own self, by learning to love it all, not only the joys and the victories, but also the pain and the struggles. When there is love in your heart, everything outside is of you only becomes lovable. You are free to believe in what you choose, and what you do attests to what you believe. When we focus on clarifying what is being observed, felt, and needed, rather than diagnosing and judging, we discover the depth of work on compassion, the great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth in the minds of the men, let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men, make Christ return to earth. From the center where the will of the God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of man, the purpose which the Master knows and saw. From the center which we call the rest of man, let the plan of love and light work out, and may I seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Only in quiet waters things mirror themselves undistorted. Only in a quiet mind is adequate perception of the world. All changes, even the most longed for, have their melancholy for what we left behind. As is part of our souls, we must die into one's life before we can into another. Every human has 4 endowments: self-awareness, conscious, independent will, and creative imagination. These give us the power to discern, to choose, to respond to change. If you would be a real seeker after truth, it is necessary that at least once in your lifetime you doubt as far as possible all things. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it's not rude, it's not self-seeking, it's not easily angered. It keeps no record of the wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always preserves. It is love alone that leads to right action. It brings order to the world, is to love and let love do what it will. It is only by grounding our awareness in the living sensation of our bodies that I am, our real presence can awaken. Love gives us a moment. Last in the moment what we can hardly attain an effort after years of toil. The more we try and understand enlightenment, the more it will elude us, and that is because enlightenment does not come from the mind. It does come from no mind. It comes from just being. You already are enlightened. You just have to realize it, to allow it into your experience. This is the way of peace. Overcame evil with good and falsehood with truth, and hatred with love. Some people, no matter how old they get, never lose their beauty. They merely move it from their faces to their hearts. Everybody needs beauty as well as brain. Places to play and places where nature may heal and give strength to body and soul. Wisdom tells me I'm nothing. Love tells me I'm everything. Between the two, my life flows. Life is a series of natural and spontaneous changes. Don't resist them, they only create sorrow. Let things flow naturally forward in whatever way they lie. The more conscious you become, the more aware you become of how unconscious you have been. The human spirit is stronger than anything that can happen to it. And the more you recognize the immense good within you, the more you magnetize immense good around you. There's no difficulty that enough love will not conquer, no disease that enough love will not heal, no door that enough love will not open, no gulf that enough love will not bridge, and no wall that enough love will not throw down, no sin that enough love will not redeem. Faith is the bird that feels the lights and the sings when the dawn is still dark. Nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Love all God's creation, but the whole and every grain of sand. Love every leaf, every ray of light. Love the animal, love the plants, love each everything. If you love each thing, you will perceive the mystery of God in all. Love is what we are born with. Fear is what we learned here. The spiritual journey is a relinquishment of or unlearning of the fear and the acceptance of the love back into our hearts. Meditations take place when you bring all your awareness to this moment. The eye through which I see the God is the same eye through which the God sees me. My eye and the God's eye are one eye, one seeing and one knowing, one love. Every positive image, every jump to a higher level of energy and awareness involves a right of passage. Each time to ascend to a higher rung of the ladder, personal evolution, you must go through a period of discomfort, of initiation. I have never found an exception. The world we are experiencing today is the result of our collective consciousness. If we want a new world, each of us must start taking responsibility for helping create it. Unity consciousness is a state of enlightenment where we pierce the mask of illusion which we create separation and fragmentation. Behind the appearance of separation is one unified field of wholeness. Here the seed and the scenery are one. To walk the spiritual path is to continually step out into the unknown. Our inner guidance comes to us through the feelings in the body, wisdom for us, not through intellectual understanding. The intellect works best in service of your intuition. Our inner guidance, soul, God, and higher power, whichever term we choose for a spiritual energy that manifests itself. If we fail to nourish our souls, they wither, and without so life ceases to have meaning. The creative process shrivels in the absence of continual dialogue with the soul. And creativity is what makes life worth living. If you open your heart, life opens your mind. Love's greatest gift is its ability to make everything it touches sacred. When we seek for connection, we restore the world to wholeness. Our seemingly separate lives become meaningful as we discover how truly necessary we are to each other. Remember, the entrance door to the sanctuary is inside you. Love wholeheartedly, be surprised, give thanks and praise, then you will discover the fullness of your life. Love is a promise, love is a souvenir, once given, never forgotten, never let it disappear. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. Any situation that you find yourself in is an outward reflection of the inner self, a state of beingness. There are no guarantees. From the viewpoint of fear, none are strong enough, but the viewpoint of love, none are necessary. Do not do tomorrow what you can do today. If you feel the need to forgive, forgive today. If you feel the need to risk today. If you feel the need to apologize today. If you feel the need to love someone, love them today. If you feel the need to create something today. If you feel do this, there will be no conflict within. You will grow in a spirit because you will be your true romantic, authentic self, living at full potential. Live for today, not for tomorrow. Love is the key. If we start to express the spring of love, within that is our true essence of our truth, our spark of divinity, and allow it to flow more than all is revealed. Love becomes our guide in life, our connection with all, and our path back to the source. The best teachers are those who show you where to look but don't tell you what to say. The most profound choice in life is to either accept things as they exist or to accept the responsibility for changing them. Life simply is. It follows its course. Give yourself to the moment. Let life reveal itself to you. Love is how it feels to recognize our essential unity. Awakening to oneness is the experience of being loved, knowing you are one with all. You find yourself in love with all. We turn to God for help when our foundations are shaking, only to learn that it is God who's shaking them. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. If you concentrate on finding whatever is good in every situation, you'll discover that your life will certainly be filled with gratitude, a feeling that nurtures the soul. The outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to reflect their inner beliefs. Your perception is your reality. In our desire to impose form on the world and our lives, we have lost the capacity to see the form that is already here. And in that lies are not liberation but alienation, the cutting off from things as they really are. Light that is one, though the lamps are many. I'm grateful for life and all that I love. I'm grateful for the earth and the sun up above. I'm grateful for my spirit and my inner being, for the one that I express in the joy of this feeling. You think of yourself as human searching for spiritual awakening, when in fact you are spiritual beings attempting to cope with a human awakening. Seeing yourself with the perspective of the spirit within will help you to remember why you came here and what you came here to do. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. I close my eyes in order to see. You are as old as God and as young as the morning. There is one river of truth which receives tributaries from every side. The search for wisdom is a great challenge. To act on wisdom is even greater challenge. The moment one gives close attention to anything, even a blade of grass, it becomes a mysterious, awesome, indescribably magnificent world in itself. Lost prayer. My source in the spiritual realm, I celebrate your presence with me here. Let me be guided by unconditional love and be of service for the highest good. Thank you for the abundance I receive, and please forgive my mistakes, for I forgive those who caused me difficulties. Help me to fulfill my purpose, to uphold my values, and by understanding and compassionate with all my love. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me solve. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. Where, O Divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to understand, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in parting that we are parting, it is in dying that we are brought to eternal life. We start then with nothing, pure zero, but this is not a thing of negation. For not means other than, and other is merely the synonym of the ordinal numeral second. As such, it implies a first, while the present pure zero is prior to every first. Nothing of negation is the nothing of death, which comes second to the one or after everything. But this pure zero is the nothing of not having been born. There is no individual thing, no compulsion outward inward, no law. It is the germinal nothing in which the whole universe is involved or foreshadowed. As such, it is absolutely undefined and unlimited possibility. Boundless possibility. There is no compulsion and no law. It is boundless freedom. Love is unconditional acceptance. It is love of parent for child. Also the non-possessive love of partners. Also the caring love between two people. All people that enables forgiveness. Is about energy, though it may be expressed energetically. It's our essential nature, spirit itself, the quality we share with God, and it is in binding force of the universe, internet, and all that is. Of the God in which you I speak, but not of the evil. For what is good? Tortured by its own hunger and thirst. When good is hungry, it seeks food even in dark caves, and when it thirsts, it drinks even of dead waters. To urge is human, to forgive divine. Love, if you don't have it, no matter what else you may have, it's not enough. A person does not have to be behind bars to be a prisoner. People can be prisoners of their own concepts and ideas. They can be slaves of their own selves. The ultimate lesson all of us have to learn is unconditional love, which includes not only others but ourselves as well. All truly wise thoughts have been thought already thousands of times, but to make them truly ours, we must think them over again honestly till they take root in our personal experience. When we feel passion for something, it is because we are remembering what it was that we came here to do. The more passion we feel, the more in alignment with source we are, allowing this energy to flow through us, and with no hesitation, this is the way it was meant to be. We need a renaissance of wonder. We need to renew in our hearts and in our souls the deathless dream, the eternity, poetry, the perennial sense that life is miracle and magic. What is not brought to consciousness comes to us as fate. Go out looking for one thing, and that's all you'll ever find. Being everything up to the surface, except your humanity, your animality, whatsoever is there. Accept it without any condensation. Acceptance is transformation, because through acceptance, awareness becomes possible. A light worker's creed. I'm a light worker. I work so that others may awaken. I learn so that others may also learn. I transform so that others may transform. I lighten my load so that others may change things. I learn to see so that others may also see. I forgive myself so that I may help others to forgive. I love myself so that I can bring out love in others. I am a light worker. I live to give comfort. I give to shine loving light onto others. I live to heal. I live to give hope. I live for truth. I live for love. Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, man cannot live without a spiritual life. I believe that an armed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. To be alive is to be able to see, to walk. It's all a miracle. True religion is the life we lead, not the creed we profess. Know that although in the eternal scheme of the things you are small, you are also unique and irreplaceable, as are all the fellow humans everywhere in the world. I died from the mineral and plant died from the plant, took a sentient frame, died from a beast, donned a human race. When by my dying, did I ever grow less? When did my dying did I ever grow less? A holy person is someone who is whole, who has, as it were, reconciled with opposites. Only that dawns into which we are we. Reality is that which when you stop believing it, it doesn't go away. At times of writing, I never think that I have said before. My aim is not to be consistent with my previous statements on a given question, to be consistent with truth as it may present itself to me at a given moment. The result has been that I have grown from truth to truth. Mahatma Gandhi. Doing nothing is better than being busy doing nothing. He who binds to himself a joy, does the winged life destroy? He who kisses the joy as it flies, lives in eternity's sunrise. The door you open to give love is the very one which love arrives. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns, when we go into it enough and more, it turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It can turn meal into feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes peace, sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Generosity is another quality which, like patience, letting go, non-judging, and trust, provides a solid foundation for mindfulness practice. Wise and strong as he who leaves his heart open and searches without fear. There are only 4 great questions in life: what is sacred, or what of the spirit made? What is worth living for, and what's worth dying for? The answer to all of them is the same: only love. Those of us who have translated mythical belief system know without any doubt that there is no God up in the sky. But when we awaken to what I call the evolutionary impulse, the mysterious passion to evolve and to become, to develop, on every level we discover what God is. We don't see things as they are, we see things as we are. Be kind whenever possible, it is always possible. Only in quiet waters things mirror themselves undistorted. Only in quiet mind is adequate perception of the world. Love is what were born with. Fear is what we learn here. Spiritual journey is a relinquishment or unlearning of fear and the acceptance of love back into our hearts. So many assume the truth is either black and white. In all evolution or its totality, creation, or for example, reality creates consciousness, consciousness creates reality. Actually, truth is inclusive, neither black nor white, nor shades of grey. Indeed, truth is multicolored spectrum, a beautiful hologram. Truth is in you remains as radiant as a star, as pure as light, as innocent as love itself. Transformation, death of the old ways, making way for new energy and revitalization. Time to look for a new path, change in a relationship, job, or long-standing belief. Possible new beginnings and liberation. Time to let go of something and let it pass from your life. Change of mind, outside influence will cause drastic changes. Change or change will burst upon you, thrust upon you. Grieving is a loss or change, rebirth. Choose again. Pretend that you are enlightened. Pretend that you are loved by God. Pretend that you are perfect just the way you are. Take a deep breath now and pretend what is true. Then everything will make sense. When you pretend something that is true, then you immediately become the truth. First, the energy of God descends upon the earth. Then it pretends whatever it wants to be. And then it ascends back to the source. You are God pretending to be whatever you are right now. Do you understand what that means? You have allowed yourself to descend, but by pretending to be less than what you are, you have not ascended back to God. Love is much more fundamental than any kind of thinking or believing. It is the root and basis of who you are. As the most fundamental level, this means that anything other than love is an expression of your being as artificial, unnatural, and it's a result of not knowing who you are. Too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, too short for those who rejoice, but for those who love, time is not. We are more than what we do, much more than what we accomplish, far more than what we possess. Your thoughts are like the seeds you plant in your garden. Your beliefs are like the soil in which you plant these seeds. If in the province of the mind, what one believes to be true, either is true or becomes true. Don't believe everything you think. I didn't change it. I just spoke up. Some things have to be believed to be seen. Don't think you are, know you are. Perhaps the only limits of the human mind are those we believe in. We do not see things as they are, we see them as we are. It is only a prayer you said in your whole life. Thank you. There are two ways to slide easily through life, to believe everything or to doubt everything. Both ways save us from thinking. You are part of the changeless, ever-changing life of learning. What is needed is not the will to believe but the will to find out, which is the exact opposite. The best is the most beautiful thing in the world cannot be seen or not touched but are felt in the heart. Asking the proper questions is the eternal action of transformation. Questions are the key that causes the secret doors of the psyche to swing open. There's no beauty that you can perceive or create. It is what not already within you. What we see depends mainly on what we look for. And why is it that if someone tells you that there are 1 billion stars in the universe, you will believe them? But if they tell you a wall has weight bent, you will have to touch it to be sure. Even ignorance is like a shadow. It has no real substance of its own. It is simply a lack of light. You cannot cause the shadow to disappear by trying to fight it, stamp on it, railing against it, or any other form of emotional or physical resistance. In order to cause the shadow to disappear, you must shine light on it. Be impeccable with the word. 4 agreements. Wow, this is amazing. 1. Be impeccable with your words. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. 2. Don't take anything personally. Nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim of needless suffering. Don't make assumptions. Finding the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstanding, sadness, and trauma. With just one agreement, you can completely transform your life. 4. Always do your best. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick. Under any circumstances, simply do your best and you will avoid self-judgment, self-abuse, and regret. If there is light in the soul, if there is beauty in the person, if there is beauty in the person, there's harmony in the house. If there's harmony in the house, there's order in the nation. If there's order in the nation, there's peace in the world. What we think is less than what we know. What we know is less than what we love. What we love is so much less than what there is. And so to that precise extent, we are so much less than what we are. When we love, we are universe and the universe lives in us. The noblest pleasure is the joy of understanding. There has been a revolution in how we perceive the body. What appears to be an object, a 3-dimensional anatomical structure, is actually a process, a constant flow of energy and information. You live in illusions and appearance of things. There is reality, you are that reality. When you recognize that, you would realize you are nothing, and being nothing, you are everything. That's all. If the doors of the perception are cleansed, everything would appear to man as it is infinite. Man has no body distinct from his soul. For that called body is a portion of the soul discerned by the five senses, the chief inlets of the soul in this age. I sought my God, and my God I could not find. I sought my soul, and my soul eluded me. I sought my brother to serve him in his need, and I found all three: my God, my soul, and thee. Gratitude is a heart's memory. My religion is simple. My religion is kindness. Faith is like a toothbrush. Every person should have one and use it regularly, but he shouldn't try to use it someone else's. The Christian ideal has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and left untried. Do not dwell in the past and do not dwell in the future. Concentrate in the mind, the present moment. What lies behind us, what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. This is my simple religion. There's no need for temples, no need for complicated philosophy. Our own brain, our own heart is our temple. The philosophy of is kindness. We must never cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we began and to know the place. The first time, karma, to be identified with your mind, is to be tapped in time. The compulsion to live almost exclusively through memory and anticipation, this grease and endless preoccupation with past and future, and an unwillingness to honor and acknowledge the present moment and allow it to be. Compulsion rises because the past gives you an identity and the future holds the promise of salvation. Fulfillment is whatever form, both are illusions. Love is a force form more formidable than any other. It is invisible, it cannot be seen or measured, yet it is powerful enough to transform you in a moment and offer you more than any material possession could. My religion is simple, my religion is kindness. God will become visible as God's image is reborn in you. Their spirit is neither good nor bad, it runs where the wild heart lays. Wisdom begins in wonder. To speak gratitude is courteous and pleasure, and to enact gratitude is generous and noble, but to live gratitude is to touch heaven. We can easily forgive a child who's afraid of the dark that we had childhood days when are afraid of the light. The best way to know God is to love many things. Ideals are like stars. You will not succeed in touching them with your hands, but like the seafaring man on the desert of waters, you choose them as your guides, and following them, you reach your destiny. Time is too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, and too long for those who crave, too short for those who rejoice. But for those who love, time is eternity. The highest form of spiritual work is the realization of the sins of man. You never learn to answer, you can only become an answer. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. God, God, please help me to make myself the best so that we can serve all the best and truly enjoy sharing the insight with all.